mac and cheese has got to be one of the number one side dishes in America's household. If it's not, it's number one in mine. But this time I'm putting a spin on it. I'm doing creamy mac and cheese with bacon. The combination of that smoky flavor with the cheese is off the chain. So let's get in the kitchen and get it poppin', family. Okay, well, let's get into these ingredients, fam. Look, let me talk to you about pasta, okay? Now, pasta is just dry flour, oil, and water, and maybe some egg. And to go out there and to buy the most expensive pasta, it is not necessary. Get the cheapest one, which you see I have, okay? Now, as you can see here, I have my pasta in the dish. I already have it measured out up to halfway. Now, that's how I measure out my pasta, because you know when you cook your pasta, it's going to swell up, okay? Next thing we have here is our flour, which is what we're going to use to make our roux, which is going to be the flour and it's going to be the butter. We have one of our main stars here, which is the bacon. I got beef bacon here. I took my bacon, I put it on a rack, and I put it in the oven for like 10 to 20 minutes at 400 degrees until it got crisp. Then I proceeded to go ahead and chop it up into bits, okay? Also, as far as our butter is concerned, you want to make sure you have the best tasting butter. Now, for our cheese, I shredded my cheese. I prepped that ahead of time. I advise you to do the same thing and to really stay away from the bagged cheese if you can, because that cheese is pre-shredded. They cover it with some sort of wax coating and it doesn't really pop like the fresh cheese does. And when you freshly grind your cheese, that sharpness really comes out. Also, we're going to use Philadelphia cream cheese, and we're going to use sour cream, and we're going to use mozzarella, which will give us that cheese pull that we're looking for. Now, for our liquid, we're going to be using heavy cream and whole milk. I have 4 cups of whole milk and 4 cups of heavy cream. You can use 8 cups of whole milk or 8 cups of heavy cream. It's up to you. Now, as far as the ingredients for the spices are concerned, I use black peppercorn to make fresh ground black pepper, granulated garlic salt, Lowry's particular because they're the best, and granulated onion powder. And that's it, family. Now let's get our pot of water on the stove for our pasta, our elbow pasta. And we're going to make sure that we salt this. You're going to put in a good amount of salt, okay? Because if not, you're not going to have no flavor to your pasta at all. Now, you're also going to need a saucepan. This is the pan that we're going to make our roux in. Now, you can use a pot, of course, but this is what I'm using. And we're going to go ahead and use 2 sticks of Land O'Lakes butter. You can use salted or unsalted. It's up to you, all right? And we're going to go ahead and get this melted. We're going to add in like 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic powder, okay? 2 to 3 tablespoons, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of granulated onion powder. And we're going to use like 1 tablespoon of Lowry's garlic salt and 1 teaspoon of fresh, and I mean to express that, fresh grounded black pepper, okay? Now we're going to give this a good stir to spread out all of those seasonings within that butter. And we're going to let this simmer because we're going to let all of those flavors burst out into your butter, okay? And spread out. Now it's time to add in our bacon, which is going to do the same thing. We're going to spread our bacon out and make sure that it's spread out evenly, as I'm trying to do here, and let it simmer because we want all of those flavors, that smoky flavor and all of the garlic and onion and black pepper, all of those oils and the flavors that are within them to burst out and get into your butter. And this is going to be important for when you add your flour. Next, we're going to cover it and let it simmer on low. So as that is simmering, we're going to add our pasta to our salty water that's now boiling. Now you're going to notice that when you add your pasta, it's going to stop boiling. Don't worry about it. It does that all the time. Reason is because you're adding in a colder item into the hot liquid, which brings the temperature down. It's going to cause it to stop boiling. After that, you're going to take your utensil and you're going to stir and make sure that your pasta is not stuck at the bottom, because that's what happens when you put it into the hot water. It falls to the bottom and it'll stick, okay? And we want to make sure we don't have that so it doesn't burn. Afterwards, we're going to come back with a quick look at our roux. And as you see, all of the flavors are coming in together. And give that a nice stir, okay? Just stir it up a little bit and we're going to let that simmer even more. And what I'm doing here is trying to make sure that bacon is all spread out and not really laying on top of one another, so all those flavors can come out and meld in evenly. Now, when it comes to elbow pasta, the directions usually require it to be cooked for 12 minutes so that it can come out al dente. What you're going to do is boil your pasta, your elbow pasta, for 10 minutes. Then you're going to cut your water off and let it sit in that hot water for the extra 2 minutes before straining it. Now, our roux has been cooking long enough for about 10 minutes, and it's time for us to add in our flour so that can cook. Now, as you see, I'm sifting in my flour with my little fancy sifter here, and we're going to have that cook as well. As the flour goes in, it's going to soak in all of those flavors, that smoky flavor from the bacon and the garlicky and the onion flavor from the herbs that we placed in there earlier. And it's going to begin to turn into a paste, okay? So that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to soak it all up. It's going to turn into a paste, a roux, okay? And we're going to flatten this paste out as much as possible so that it can be spread out evenly across the pan, okay? So that we can cook that raw flour taste from out of that flour. Then we're going to cover it and we're going to wait 10 minutes and come back. As you can see, it's already started cooking. All that raw taste is out of there. And we're going in with our milk, our whole milk, heavy cream combination that we created earlier. Then we're going to grab our whisk and we're going to come in and we're going to start beating it slowly, okay? We're trying to get all of those knots out of there from that roux that has built up to make that paste. We want to try to beat that out smoothly. As we do that, the roux is going to begin to soak up all of that cream and that milk, and it's going to come out more like a creamy consistency, which is called a bechamel. Bechamel is basically the start of a sauce, which is what we're doing here because we're making a cheese sauce. Now back to the pasta. The pasta has come to a rumble and we're going to turn it all the way off and we're going to let it sit in that hot water for 2 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to come back over here and check on our roux, our bechamel, and mine's is thickening up some, so I added the rest of our milk combination in there to smooth that out and just get that prepared. Now it's about time for us to add our cheese into there, but what we're going to do is, after smoothing this out, we're going to go right back over here to our pasta that's been sitting in this water for 2 minutes. And we're going to take that off the stove so that we can strain it so that it doesn't get too soft. Izzy Bites, our bechamel is ready to be transformed into a cheese sauce. Now it's time to start adding them in slowly but surely. And because cream cheese takes longer to melt, I went ahead and added that in first so that it can go ahead and break down. And you can set yours in as I did. And just give it a little stir here and there and let it sit, for about 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes at a time, and come back and give it a stir because it will begin to melt. Then here I come in with a big heaping of sour cream. And that sour cream, let me tell you, you add your sour cream into your macaroni and cheese. If you've never done that before, you're going to love it. So I put it in and I changed over to a different whisk, as you can see, because the one I had earlier was plastic and this one is metal. That plastic one wasn't working. It was getting on my nerves, man. Now to add in a little bit more smoky flavor, I went in and added just a tablespoon or teaspoon to a tablespoon of liquid smoke. That's the mesquite kind. I went ahead and just whisked that in. Now you can go ahead on in and add that sharp cheese. What I did is add it in, and then I usually put a lid on top of it so that the heat can get it started to melt it, and then I'll come back and I'll whisk it all in together. See how it's starting to change that orange yellow color that we like so much in our macaroni and cheese? Then I go in and add in more. I'm adding in more sharp cheese and the rest of that mozzarella. Look how that pull, you can see that cheese pull is already in there. Look at that, nice and creamy. Now, Izzy Bites, I have a tendency of doing this. Take your pasta and put it in a bowl first and mix it with your cheese, then pour it into your casserole dish. I have a tendency to just put my pasta in the casserole dish, then pouring the cheese and mixing it. It makes it more easier if you do it in a separate bowl or pot and then pour it into your casserole dish. As you see here, I'm mixing some sharp cheese and some mozzarella and some sour cream into the pasta before I add the cheese sauce. And here we go with the star of the show, our bacon cheese sauce. Now you can scoop this in like you want to, you could pour it in if you want to, but I'm doing it like this because the dish because of the size of the dish, let me say that, and I'm trying to prevent it from spilling over. That's why I said it would have been easier if I would have put it in a bowl first and stirred it all in and went from there. After I smoothed it out with this last layer, I'm going to top it off with some more cheese on the top as much as possible. Then I'm going to take it and we're going to put it in the oven. Oh yeah, you know what? I forgot to sprinkle some smoked paprika on the top. That'd be good as well to add that smokiness to it. Then into a 350-degree oven for 1 hour, and this is what we come out with. Family, look at that cheese. Just look at that cheese. And the flavor of that bacon combined with it is off the chain. Tell me, have you ever had macaroni and cheese with bacon? If so, hit me up below and let me know if you have, or let me know if you tried this recipe right here, okay? Until the next time, family, give your brother a thumbs up and a like and subscribe. Much love. Peace.